The estate was alive with laughter and chatter, the scent of roasted lamb and fresh-baked bread wafting through the evening air as yet another family dinner commenced. The siblings, married or not, had gathered in the grand garden, the warmth of candle-lit lanterns illuminating the long dining table where they sat. It was an evening of pleasant conversation, of teasing and reminiscing, of catching up on the latest affairs of the town. Yet one seat remained conspicuously empty. Eloise, as always, had found an excuse to slip away. With her mother preoccupied discussing Francesca's latest letter, and her brothers too involved in their conversations about hunting and politics, she had taken the opportunity to vanish into the night. With the hood of her cloak drawn low, she maneuvered her way through the streets of Mayfair, her heart racing not from fear, but from exhilaration. Tonight, she would finally discover the origins of the scandalous posters that had sent shockwaves through London's elite. For weeks, she had scoured the city, following every possible lead, tracing the trail of words that had ignited something deep within her. They spoke of equality, of freedom, of a future where women had a voice that was not drowned by the expectations of men. And tonight, she had finally found her answer. From the shadows of her family's grand entrance, she had spotted a figure, a tall, broad-shouldered man, his clothes plain and worn, yet there was a quiet strength in the way he carried himself. Eloise had watched as he moved swiftly through the street, dropping a rolled-up stack of paper into the wrought iron gate of a lakeside garden. And then, just as quickly, he was gone. Her mind made up, she followed him. Through the darkened streets, past closed-up shop fronts and winding alleyways, she moved swiftly, her skirts brushing against the cobblestone. The man ahead never faltered, never looked over his shoulder, but Eloise knew. He was aware of her. He wanted her to follow. The small print shop was dimly lit when he stepped inside. Eloise lingered at the threshold, her heart pounding in her chest. The scent of ink and paper filled her senses, the soft sound of shifting parchment reaching her ears. She inhaled deeply, steeling herself before pushing the door open. The bell overhead jingled as she stepped in, her eyes adjusting to the flickering candlelight. The shop was lined with shelves filled with pamphlets and books, a well-worn printing press taking center stage at the far end, and there, emerging from the back room, was the man she had followed. Theo. His dark brown curls were unruly, his sharp jawline shadowed by the faintest hint of stubble. His sleeves were rolled up to his elbows, revealing strong forearms marked with ink stains and veins that stood out from labor. His clothes were worn but neat, the top button of his shirt undone, making him look effortlessly rugged. For a moment, Eloise simply stared. Theo regarded her with an amused smirk, arms crossed over his broad chest. "Well, well," he mused, his deep voice laced with amusement. "I thought I had a shadow." Eloise straightened her spine. I was merely looking to have something printed," she declared, lifting her chin defiantly. Theo's smirk deepened. "Oh? And what exactly does a lady such as yourself need printed at this hour?" Eloise hesitated for only a moment before blurting out, "A wedding announcement." He let out a laugh, low, rich, and entirely unbothered by her bold lie. "A wedding announcement, is it? I hope the groom knows he is getting married." She cleared her throat. "My name is Ernie Tangerine." Theo raised a single incredulous brow. "Ernie Tangerine." "Yes," Eloise said through gritted teeth, determined to commit to the ruse. Theo chuckled, shaking his head. "Right. Well, Miss Tangerine, are you expecting me to believe that?" "Absolutely," she bit out. Theo folded his arms. "Very well then, Miss Tangerine. How can I be of service to you this evening?" Eloise stared at him, her sharp mind scrambling to form a believable excuse. But before she could concoct another tale, Theo leaned against the counter, his gaze appraising her with interest. "You do realize you are terribly out of place, don't you?" he said. "A young woman dressed in finery, wandering into a print shop in the middle of the night. Either you are hopelessly lost, or you are looking for trouble." Eloise lifted her chin, scanning the shelves as if she truly had business there. The scent of ink and parchment filled the air, and for a fleeting moment she imagined what it must be like to spend one's days surrounded by ideas pressed into paper, words that could change the world. The weight of Theo's gaze pulled her back to reality. Theo exhaled sharply, shaking his head. "You move through these streets like they belong to you. But tell me, have you ever truly seen them? The real London, not the one lined with silk and privilege?" She met his gaze, unwavering. "Maybe I haven't seen all of it, not the way you have. But I am trying to. And I know that not everyone who has wealth chooses to ignore what is beyond their own doorstep." Theo let out a short laugh, though there was no real amusement in it. "It's remarkable, really. You stand here, speaking of trying to see the world beyond your doorstep, but do you truly understand what that means? You could pick up a book, read about hardship, talk about inequality, but at the end of the day, you still get to leave it behind." Eloise stiffened. "That is not—" Theo held up a hand, cutting her off. "Tell me, has there ever been a moment in your life where you've had to choose between eating and keeping a roof over your head? Have you ever wondered if the weight of your name was the only thing ensuring your safety? Have you ever had to fight, not with words at a tea party, but with real consequences on the line?" She opened her mouth to reply, but found that the words tangled on her tongue. She had not. She knew it, and worse, so did he. Theo tilted his head slightly, watching her reaction. "The moment you were born into your family, your future was secured. Your education, your wealth, your status, all handed to you on a silver platter. Meanwhile, a boy born into poverty could work his entire life and never have even a fraction of the opportunities you take for granted." Eloise faltered, taken aback by the truth in his words. Theo leaned forward slightly, his voice quieter but no less firm. "No matter how kind your heart may be, you cannot deny the reality of the world we live in." Eloise opened her mouth, then closed it again. She had debated with scholars, with aristocrats, with her own brothers, but never had someone challenged her so effortlessly. And for reasons she could not yet name, it thrilled her. The debate ended in an uneasy silence, one that hung between them like an unspoken challenge. Theo eventually straightened, exhaling. "It's late," he said. "You shouldn't be wandering these streets alone." Eloise bristled. "I can take care of myself." Theo smirked, but did not push further. "If you insist." She turned on her heel, chin lifted defiantly as she exited the shop. He did not follow, nor did he offer another word of farewell. Eloise walked away, her pulse still racing from their exchange, though she refused to acknowledge why. Unbeknownst to her, the moment she disappeared into the darkened street, Theo grabbed his coat and stepped outside, following at a safe distance. For all his beliefs in women's independence, he would not let any woman walk alone at this hour, not even one as stubborn as Miss Ernie Tangerine.